Oh, man, digging out here in the sun sure is, that is sweaty work, man.
What
out here in the Utah Badlands.
Yeah, how many yams do you have in your thing?
That way, I've only got like a couple. It was a bad harvest. It's really dry out here. Earth is cracked. My shovel is overturning this dirt.
This isn't a rock. What is this?
What do you got over there?
It's huge.
Oof.
It's so hard.
The fuck is this?
I don't know.
Is this a bone?
Is it a bone?
A big fucking chicken bone? Jesus Christ, it's a giant bone. The hell would have a bone this big?
This is an enormous bone.
Jeez, holy shit, here's another one. It's another gigantic bone.
What are these?
There's like 100 of them.
What would this belong to?
Oh, man, maybe there was like some sort of prehistoric kind of like monster creature.
A giant man, maybe?
No, it wouldn't be a man. It may be like some sort of like a carnivorous lizard.
Chicken.
Something chicken-like,
a
perhaps,
1,000-pound
chicken. A predecessor of the chicken. 1,000-pound chicken.
A 1,000-pound chicken. A grand chicken.
Maybe
Kilo
something kind of like that. So if you had like a bunch of those fucking big chickens, big fuck chickens, what would we call them?
Boners?
Yeah, they're full of bones.
Yeah, look at these bones.
These are big. There's a giant boners.
Big
man.
boners.
I think there's a whole flock of boners.
Just
running in herds.
Imagine
maybe?
1,000 years ago, all the boners you'd see here.
Oh man, just think what would happen if like you came across one of these boners.
I'd be scared.
What do you think would happen, Dr. Alan Grant?
You stare at him, and he just stares right back. And that's when the attack comes, not from the front, but from the side. From the other two boners who didn't even know we're there.
Whoa, damn,
that's fucking
Jesus.
crazy.
Holy fuck.
The point is, you are alive when they start to eat you.
Okay.
Welcome back, children, to Delete Everything Podcast, our archaeological dig where we, your intrepid archaeologists, are diligently laboring to find lost, forgotten, omitted, and deleted knowledge encased in prehistoric amber. I am your Sam Neill, R.I.P., Patrick Wall. And with me, as always, looking hot, shooting me some meaningful glances, you're John Hammond.
Oh, fuck you. You piece of shit.
Oh, the setup and the delivery was perfect.
That was good. You spared no expense. Fuck you.
Spared no expense. Go ahead, say your name.
Riley Bowen.
Oh my God. In this week's episode, we are exploring when, where, and how human beings started finding the bones of ancient monsters in the ground and how the fuck that didn't immediately result in pandemonium and everything being on fire. Bones! Bones! This is a suggestion. This is a suggestion from one of our longtime listeners who queried, what the fuck do you think the first people who found dinosaur bones thought? Which is not a bad question to dive into. But before we start, thank you to anyone and everyone who left reviews, ratings, comments, etc. Please keep them coming. Those of you who haven't taken a second to do that for us, it is insanely helpful to us in terms of charts, visibility, dumb algorithm nonsense, all that. Also, check us out on Instagram and YouTube at Delete Everything Podcast. Riley is finally getting around to getting the Instagrams caught up.
I did 2 of them.
So you'll see photos and funny stuff corresponding to our episodes there.
What's funny is you might actually note, if you read the liner notes on the Instagram post, the one that I posted about the Battle of Puebla, it says at the bottom, just in time for Cinco de Mayo. Posted mid-July.
Yep. That's our guy. Yeah, follow us on Instagram and YouTube. You will find some funny videos on Instagram as well as those corresponding to our episodes. You'll also find a lot more funny videos on our YouTube page, and those are fun. Those videos are just us in the studio. They're ripped straight from our Patreon episodes, which we do frequently release in video and audio, but we are not these last few weeks because we've all been stupid busy and Drew has not been in the studio and he's sort of our camera guy.
we refer to those episodes as boner episodes, which canonically is hilarious. But also, we can refer to this episode as our first official main feed boners episode because it's about bones.
Hey, back to that whole Patreon thing. You can join us there anytime you like. It is $8 and you will get almost 90 back episodes, boners episodes, with new ones every week. And you will also, I never mentioned this, you also get direct access to us and the rest of our Patreon community.
Because if you call us, we will not answer.
Through the Patreon messaging feature that's in there. And it's actually pretty cool. Like I've found myself enjoying some chats with everyone on there lately. So come check it out. Patreon.com/Everything Podcast and listen to the 3 episodes that we've unlocked there, and you'll get a solid gist of what that shit is all about. We just recorded one about, I don't know, what did we record one about?
Just now?
Oh, about a pastor that was sucking the demons out of guys who
there's a lot. It was
spent way too much time there to be able to complain.
We recorded 2 in a row and they were pretty vile. They're pretty, we talked about some gnarly shit. I don't know. I guess maybe we're feeling a little raunchy today.
Apparently. Well, this isn't going to be too raunchy.
Yeah, that's what you fucking think. You're talking about dinosaurs, baby.
Do you want to fuck dinosaurs?
Who doesn't want to fuck dinosaurs?
Are we talking about the ones from the Warner Brothers show from the 90s?
No, those were children.
Not the wife?
Oh, you're talking about the live action. I thought you were talking about like the Disney movie.
That was not a Disney movie. You're talking about The Land Before Time?
Land Before Time, yeah.
That wasn't Disney.
Okay.
That was just some other shit.
Well, then, yeah, actually, perhaps the dad from Dinosaurs, his
lumberjack shirt,
his exasperated working class demeanor, you know, he's just like, oh, you know, kind of a Fred Flintstone.
Just not the baby.
That's sort of not the mom. No, the son, actually, the cool high school son.
With his Letterman jacket?
Probably the most fuckable one.
Who was clearly an urban youth.
Yeah, exactly.
He's very much
tough
so.
Kid. He had a switchblade.
Did he?
I don't know. Fuck.
I don't think so.
If he did, it'd be like Flint. Because they're dinosaurs. You get it?
No, yeah, I get it. It's dumb, but I got it.
You know how that show ended?
The apocalypse, or the dinosaur
the mass
apocalypse.
Extinction event. They all died. The end.
So, like I said, this one has been on our board for like easily a year and a half. It is a very interesting thing to consider. I don't know that there are any printed stories of people's immediate reaction to being the first to find gigantic bones in the ground.
The reaction was, of course, bones! Ah!
Transcribed, not written.
Yeah, that's it.
But
what are these? What are these things? Are these bones? Giant bones?
Okay, let's start at the very beginning. 6th century BCE.
God said something.
The pre-Socratic Greek philosopher, Velociraptor.
The pre-Socratic Velociraptor.
Well, they were all pre-Socratic.
The Velociraptor. That was the first one.
Xenophanes. Xenophanes? Is that him?
I would say Xenophanes.
XENO.
Usually when we're talking about
Fannies. Xenophanes.
Xenophanes, Xenophanes. Usually it's a long E and like a shortened O.
Xenophanes.
Yeah.
Let's go with that one. Xenophanes of Colophon argues that fossils of marine organisms show that dry land was once underwater. He is one of the earliest known thinkers to use fossils as evidence for changes on Earth's surface.
Whatever. It's a thing that
I
you
keep
can be
wanting
on
to say
or in.
on.
You can be in the surface.
Changes in Earth's surface. His observations of seashells and marine fossils found him like way far away from the sea and led him to argue that land and sea had changed places over immense periods of time.
I mean, that's a straightforward way of thinking. You find a fish fossil in a rock somewhere, like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we're going back to the 6th century BCE. So this is just the first guy who like found some fossil evidence way far away from the sea and was like, this is a fucking shell. What is it doing way over here? You know what I mean?
Gods must be crazy.
And this is this is one of the first examples that we have of someone using physical evidence from nature rather than mythology, because everything back then was, Greek mythology to explain Earth's history. Xenophanes, was essentially our first geologist.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah. Slight side note. I recently found out, and I might actually want to cover this someday in a Lost Civilizations episode, like Doggerland and some other ones. But there was a Proto-Grecian civilization between Greece and Italy that was like the rudimentary form of like the Grecian gods, right?
Okay.
So when we think of like the Roman pantheon being kind of a ripoff of the Greek pantheon because it's later, it's not the case. There's actually two totally different ones based on a proto religion.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's fucking interesting as shit, actually.
That is cool.
Yeah. So when you're like, oh, like Dionysus and fucking whatever,
Right.
they're the same, Bacchus or whatever, they're the same thing. Like, no, actually, totally separate pantheons.
There's a missing link.
Yeah, and it's like a proto-religious
Bigfoot.
No, it's a fucking caveman guy essentially, but like,
I'm fucking with you. So skipping ahead to 4th century BCE, Aristotle, our guy, we talk about him.
My guy Aristotle.
We talk about this guy a lot. What would be the Aristotle pronunciation? Like, how people like purposely
Aristotle.
purposely mispronounce Chipotle?
Aristotle.
Aristotle.
Which actually might be closer to his actual pronunciation, but whatever.
Possible.
Aristotle.
He posits that the stone, and I'm gonna explain this in a second. The stoniness of fossils is caused by vaporous exhalations.
Interesting.
Which makes very little sense on the surface. This is basically Aristotle theorizing on a lot of natural phenomena, right? Some of which he got right, some of which he got wrong. We're not gonna beat him up too much because it was 2,300 years ago.
He knew the Earth was round. That's cool.
Basically, what he was saying is not exactly that fossils turned to stone. He believed that an internal formative force, quote unquote, or mineral influence within the Earth created fossil-like shapes.
Oh, interesting.
He thought that the fossils came from the Earth rather than being the remains of creatures of the past.
That's a really interesting way to think. Like, think of the Earth as kind of a furnace for life anyway.
Right.
Right? And it's like, well, this one might have been a fish if it was like in the sea.
Right.
But
and so these vaporous exhalations from the Earth,
which would be like
creating
kind of like the life force creating animals anyway, right?
Well, so I said he was kind of right about stuff. He was kind of wrong about stuff. So
by our standards, he was a stupid asshole. But
not even, because one of the things that he noted was
the Earth being round. I like that.
Was the
he did. He was his thing.
I know. One of the things that he noted pertinent to this topic, i.e. vaporous exhalations, is that there were different types of vapors, right? One of them that he noticed was moisture vapors. And that dew was more prevalent after rain or when it was still cool. He theorized that the heat from the sun would pull this moisture out, and during certain times of year, that moisture would get to be too heavy in the atmosphere and come back down. That's fucking brilliant without any science whatsoever.
That is the water table. So yeah.
He also thought that there was what do you call there was vaporous inhalations and there was like dry exhalations. And the dry exhalations were like dust and stuff caused like volcanoes and
all we are is dust and
lightning
the wind.
And stuff. Yeah, so he was wrong about that. So doesn't matter.
Oh, wait, no, that was Socrates that said that.
Obviously, we know his writings were super formative philosophy and all that stuff.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Yeah, well, the part of the problem is that he, for so long, everything that Aristotle had written was almost like, it was so authoritative. It was so, canonical to any kind of thinking that all the way into the Renaissance, a lot of his thoughts about fossils persisted, and it was a while before a lot of this stuff got sort of, fine-tuned.
I think a lot about like the permaculture of like history between, like Greek and Roman times and then up until like medieval Europe, because it's essentially, if you were smart, you spoke Greek and fucking read Greek shit up until essentially Descartes started fucking doing shit in France. And Descartes' whole thing was like, maybe they were wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, well, and I'll give you a great example. Aristotle believed that species were fixed and eternal, right? Whatever species is here has been here and will always be here, which meant that the idea of extinction, we'll get into this a little bit later, the idea of extinction was like impossible for scholars to even consider because Aristotle said they weren't. Like I said, his shit was so authoritative that any free thinker would have just been like, no.
Yeah, that's fair.
According to Aristotle.
Well, according to Aristotle, the gods must be crazy.
Yeah. So now we're out of the BCEs, we're into the CEs. I should note ahead of time that there were probably a whole bunch of cultures that found fossils, noticed fossils, thought about fossils, all that stuff, throughout the world. China obviously has an incredibly ancient culture. The Middle East obviously has a ton of ancient culture. Even North America, I mean, even the Americas, even Africa, there were probably people finding things. Right. Xenophanes is just the earliest individual that we know of who wrote about it, and that writing survived. Just kind of lucky on all ends. Getting into 1027, Avicenna. Avicenna is a Persian naturalist who kind of elaborated on some of Aristotle's speculations. He wrote a book called The Book of Healing, and he proposed that fossils are caused by petrifying fluids. Basically, what he was saying is that these fluids are able to turn organic matter into rock, which is still not on the money, but, that's how...
Not necessarily off the mark, though, either. Because a lot of, one of the things with fossils is, there's a lot going on. It's not just dry. It's not just wet. There's a lot, a whole long-term sort of pressure cookery that creates those,
Well, I'll say this. His explanation of petrifying fluids was wrong in the modern sense.
Yeah.
Basically, what he was saying is there are these fluids that the earth secretes, and then it just turns regular things into rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You could just be walking down the street and then suddenly, I'm a rock, right?
But that wouldn't make any fucking sense, because if you buried stuff where there were fossils, you'd expect them to become fossils, but they do not.
The concept was
stupid. He was a stupid asshole.
It's not crazy off of the process of mineralization and fossil formation. It just wasn't exactly dead on. Also, what ends up happening with this theory and where it kind of gets bastardized, this theory of petrifying fluids, that there is this thing that can turn this thing into another thing.
It's fair.
In a few hundred years, when alchemy starts being a real hot topic in Europe, that's suddenly oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll say,
it's not wrong in the sense that is kind of what happens. I mean, it's wrong in the fact that it's not instantaneous. It's over a very long time.
There's a lot to be said. I mean, I think, most guys have experience with fluids that dry quickly,
Yeah.
On their stomachs.
I will say this. Avicenna also proposed that mountains could form through natural processes and that landscapes changed over enormous periods of time, which was a huge departure from the idea that Earth's surface was pretty much fixed, right? Unless we're going to pour some dirt into this wagon and bring it over there, then, but other than that, it is what it is. He noted these changes to Earth's strata, which led to a lot of the dating methods used in early stratigraphy, right? Layers of the Earth's strata.
Right.
So
that's that game where you have to use the soldiers to you take Australia. You got to enclave in Australia, and then you get your guys England, France team up.
That's strategery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was strategism.
That's a bad joke. You're tired. Go to bed, Grandpa.
What?
Strategism?
No, strategery was a bad fucking joke. Was that George W. Bush?
It was.
The fuck? And then I countered that with
strategism.
Strategism.
That's the one where you only win if you're the last one to come on the board.
Exactly. You got to jerk it while you play.
You lose if you're the last one to come on the board.
Yeah.
And you have to eat the board. Fucking stupid. It is late. We got to stop doing these late ones. We are caught up after tonight, though.
Oh, are we?
Back on schedule.
Cool.
All right. So 1031 to 1095. lived a man named Shen Kuo. Shen Kuo is a Chinese naturalist, and he uses some evidence of some marine fossils that he finds in the Taihang Mountains to basically infer that geological processes cause shifting of seashores over time. And he finds petrified bamboo underground. And he's basically the first one to talk about gradual climate change, just natural climate change.
That's cool.
He's actually one of the most impressive, like, early scientific thinkers. He not only noticed these fossils, but he used them to sort of like argue about this landscape change over time. Mm-hmm. He's the first person to correctly describe the concept of erosion, sediment deposits, and, landscape movement centuries before this was even a fucking concept in Europe.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah. So he's a pretty interesting guy. We're gonna blast through a lot of these, but just fucking, we're gonna stop. We're gonna make a couple pit stops along the way.
Yeah, like tar pit stops.
That's Shen Kuo. What was kind of cool about him also, just one last note about him, is that his talking about this petrified bamboo and stuff, these fossils of petrified bamboo, was that rather than just come up with some supernatural explanation, again, back to Xenophanes and his whole thing, was like he found these fossils and recognized that, okay, these were here at some point. I'm assuming they must have had like roots and stuff on them still. So he notices these and he goes, okay, well, there's no way these could live here now, but they obviously lived here at some point. And so that was sort of the way that he sort of came to the logical conclusion of the climate changing over time, rather than being like, oh, the gods. I thought that was cool.
Gods must be crazy.
Stop saying it.
Why?
Because it's a movie about a Coke bottle falling out of a plane.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. There's no fucking way you've never seen that movie.
I've never seen whatever you're talking about.
Shut the fuck up.
I literally have not.
I will fucking Zangief kick you right now.
I don't know what you're saying.
I will Chun-Li you
I don't know this movie. I was Aristotle is the one who said the gods must be crazy. Coke bottle?
You really don't know the movie?
I don't know. No. Is it like The Air Up There with Kevin Bacon?
No, it's an old movie.
Yeah.
Called The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's about like a fucking pilot in some war. He throws a Coke bottle out of the window as he's flying over some fucking island. And then the islanders who know nothing of such things,
they break the Coke bottle and they use it to make weapons.
No, they put it in their ass.
Well, there you go. They're like, oh man, the gods wanted us to put this in our ass.
Hey, in circa 1500, Leonardo da Vinci uses stupid uses ichnofossils, which are trace fossils. So things like footprints, burrows, resting spots,
cool.
Things like that are ichnofossils, right? Da Vinci uses these trace fossils to complement his hypothesis concerning the biogenic nature of body fossils.
Cool.
In other words, like the link between, okay, we found these fossils over here, body fossils, right? Actual like bones or whatever. So we found these bones over here. Right here, you can see some feeding marks. Right here's where something would clearly be laying down. So we could assume that this is where this particular creature lived. By way of making that link, Da Vinci is credited and with basically making ichnology an important part of paleontology.
Tight.
Which was not the case before.
Right.
They're just like, footprints, cool. I don't know. It's funny because
what he's doing is like, all right, if there are footprints here, probably bones here, probably plants here. Like, just like these are all signs that indicate life lived in the area.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only it was also putting together sort of patterns of what something like, here's where it lived, here's where it hunted, here's where it did this, here's where it did, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it was more of a putting together like a timeline of the life of whatever it is. Fine.
It's just like in Jurassic Park when Ellie Sattler was treating the sick Tyrannosaurus or the sick Triceratops, right? And she's like, "Oh, it's sick. But what's going on?" She looks through the stool of the Triceratops and finds traces of Xylian lilac.
Yeah,
right. Which is toxic.
But the
animals don't eat it. And they're like, I don't know about that. We don't really know what happens with that though, because then she goes off with the guy, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. But similar
In a different world.
Yeah,
In a different movie.
See that part where Jeff Goldblum is like, "That is a big pile of crap."
Yep. By the way, Leonardo's thoughts on this were pretty advanced for his time.
Yes, they were cowabunga.
Party time, dude.
Shell shock. Turtle power. Heroes on the half shell.
I hate you so much right now.
I mean, what?
He argued that you don't fucking you know what me. You have done enough of these fucking episodes and had me do this to you that you know exactly the rage I feel right now.
Yeah.
Cock.
Which is a direct descendant of the dinosaur.
That was a good one. Thank you for that one. Way to bring me back into the fold, buddy. He argued that the fossils of shells found on mountains. Again, we're going back to seems to be a very typical thing to be up on a mountain and be like, what the fuck is this doing up here?
What the fuck are shells doing here?
But he argued that the fossils of shells found on mountains were not created by Noah's flood, but were the remains of ancient marine animals.
Yeah.
Which was not a very popular idea in Renaissance Europe.
No, it's blasphemy. You're a witch. Burn him.
Even during the Renaissance, even during this sort of like European Enlightenment, biblical interpretations were the only explanations for Earth's history.
Yeah.
So this guy being like, no, this is way too old to be. You're talking about Noah's flood, dude.
Yeah, I'm very glad that we've moved past that in history.
Moving on to the 17th century, 1665, in his book Micrographia, English fancy man Robert Hooke compares petrified wood to regular, not petrified wood, and he concludes that petrified wood formed from wood soaked in mineral-rich water.
Interesting.
So then he takes that argument and applies that logic to fossils like ammonite being the, the nautilus shells,
yeah.
Nautilus animal. Ammonite's like the bigger, it's like a spiral, like a big snail shell, right?
Right.
He argues that ammonite shells were produced the same way, which sparks this big debate over the organic origin of fossils and the possibility of extinction.
Which is interesting, actually, because there are examples of like acidic waters and mineral-rich waters that will actually like calcify stumps and stuff like that.
Right, but he's saying, nah, you could do this. I could do this overnight.
I could do this. Bring me
a big ass snail. I'll bring you a fossil of an extinct animal. The fuck out of here.
Does a 4th grade experiment in his fucking in his basement, and he's like, yeah, look, it's got crystals on it now. I could grow crystals in a shell.
Actually, I have a little side note here. Apparently, he didn't completely sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for?
York. Peg.
Negate. He didn't like
say no to.
Eschew the concept. He didn't
deny.
There it is. I could think of eschew and
Gesundheit.
God damn it! I hope Drew edits this stuff.
Earlier today, Pat and I had a conversation with some people that Pat was privy to, where I was called a comedic genius, more or less, and I explained that the basis of my comedy is just opportune timing and word association.
It is, and I could have told them.
Yeah, it's a very simple concept, but it is well crafted.
I'm familiar enough with your formula. That was a good one.
See, that fucking fits right in there. That's what she said, but you got to find the right time and place for it. There'll be classes on. We got Zoom classes available. Comedy Chops 101.
God damn it! So
$300 a class.
Shut up. Hooke did not deny that fossils could be extinct species. Which, again, we're talking about a time where most people believed that every creature that we find a fossil for exists somewhere.
It was permanent.
We just haven't found it yet, right?
Yeah, well, that's still a time.
And we're talking about the 1600s, so not everything is found yet.
It's still a time in the world where it's like...
I mean, everything is found, but we don't know that everything is found.
The world has so much stuff that there's no possibility we can even extinct something, you know?
Right.
I mean, we're never going to overfish. And if we do, we'll go down the coast for a little bit because I'll be back next season. You know?
Robert Hooke was one of the first scientists to use a microscope to study fossils and really look at like their microscopic structures and compare that with living organisms. And that book that he put out, Micrographia, was one of the first major scientific books that used illustrations from his microscope. Like he would literally look in the microscope and then draw shit. Cool.
That is cool.
Good on him.
Yeah, I like that.
Then we've got Nicholas Steno, who was a Dutch scientist. And he writes that some kinds of rock formed from layers of sediment deposited in water and that fossils were organic remains buried in the process. So all this sediment, dude, I cannot talk.
Yeah, you don't get all sedimental on me.
All this sediment was dumped onto like a dead creature, and then that, which is kind of now we're getting there.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting closer. And you know, he is another father of modern stratigraphy, vis-a-vis his whole layering of sediment, right? And he established the principles that we still use today. Older layers are usually beneath younger layers. Crazy. Sedimentary layers were originally deposited horizontally. Crazy. Again, it's like being on this side of it. I didn't actually finish this thought earlier. I started to, and then you interrupted me. Being on this side of it and looking at it is kind of crazy that it seems so simple, but it's also like just something that we knew from like early on. Imagine not having that knowledge.
That's kind of the thing.
I remember
about
being in elementary school and finding out about, you know, sediment layers.
I mean, yeah, you just find that idea out one time and you can just look at the world that way from now on. Every time you're driving around it, like on an overpass and there's like a chunk of a mountain that's carved out and you can see all the.
And so, yeah, one of his concepts was fossils found inside layers represent organisms that lived before those layers were formed. Obviously.
There you go.
Doy. Nicholas Steno, you Dutch fuck. A lot of people thought at this time that fossils grew inside rocks.
Yeah.
Like a geo, what is it called? A geode.
Geode.
Like a geode. Like you open up a rock and you're like, oh, boom, a fossil.
A Geodude.
Yes.
From Pokemon.
That's the guy. That's my guy.
Then there was what were the other rock ones? There was a Geodude. There was a Diglett. What were the other rock ones? Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
Diglett wasn't a rock one. He was a dirt one. I don't know. Pokemon.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Pokemon. Sorry, buddy. So, how about this?
Wait, you're some kind of asshole? You don't know about Pokemon?
In 1676, Robert Plot, who is the professor of chemistry at Oxford and the first keeper of the Ashmolean Museum, receives a large incomplete bone from a quarry. Right? The quarry is in Stonefield, Oxfordshire.
Yes.
He looks at this bone, big ass bone.
He's like, this thing is both thuggish and ruggish.
So he compares this bone to elephant bones that he obtained specifically for comparison.
Oh, those crazy elephant bones. That joke is for one person.
He concludes that it was too large for any known animal. So naturally, he proposes that it's got to be
burn it.
That he's got to be the thigh bone of a giant human, possibly one described in biblical accounts.
Oh shit! It's the Tartarians.
He even
the first fucking professor to see a big ass bone is like Tartaria.
1676, baby.
Mud flood, baby.
So he calculates that such a human would have to have stood about 11 feet tall.
Man, it's got big as hell.
It's a big ass motherfucker. Man, fuck that old dumbass bitch. So Plot publishes his findings in 1677 in the Natural History of Oxfordshire, including a detailed illustration of the bone. Now, despite the fact that he had zero idea of what it was, this is the first illustration, the first printed evidence of a dinosaur bone in human history.
Pretty cool.
It is cool. Mind you, the word dinosaur doesn't even exist for pretty obvious reasons yet, but more on Plot's big ass bone later. Yeah, I'm going to get into Plot's big ass bone.
I'm just thinking of like skits. I'm thinking of like, my God, the thigh bone of a gigantic man. But what of the balls? A man of this size, balls must have been 11, 12 pounds apiece.
Enormous. These must have been enormous balls. The size of my satchel. The one I carry my papers in. In 1699, Edward Lhyd,
Yeah.
Lhyd, L-H-U-Y-D.
The hood.
L-H-U-Y-D.
The hood.
Lhyd.
Lloyd. Lloyd.
Probably Edward Lloyd. Shit. Another another British fancy man. All these guys I'm calling British fancy men because they just have like,
This is an era of handlebar mustaches and silly beards.
it is that, but it's also that all these guys, when you look them up, right? Okay, I'm pulling up Edward.
Edward Lloyd.
Yeah, I know. It is literally pronounced Edward Lloyd. But all these guys had, Edward Lloyd was a British scientist, geographer, historian, and antiquary. And that's like every single one of them.
Yeah, or they all just they hung out in like leather-bound chairs and read tomes.
Right. Who was the other British fancy man I said? Robert Hooke. Ready? An active physicist, which in quotes is natural philosopher, astronomer, geologist, meteorologist, and architect. Like, pick a job, dude.
To tie this,
meteorologist and architect?
To tie that actually a little bit into a previous episode, the episode about the spies in World War II.
Yeah.
We talked about how British culture in the early 1900s was like populated completely by like these fascinating old British men who had like been in the Boer Wars,
right?
Or, like
also, you were either educated or you weren't,
or you had been to the fucking Amazon or some shit. So like people like this, like, yes, I discovered the dinosaur bone,
right?
You know?
And you could be an astronomer and a meteorologist and a architect and
money,
a clergyman, and the guy down the street is a piss farmer.
Yeah,
like that's
British piss farming is a big industry.
So Edward Lloyd, British fancy man, names the new sauropod genus and species Rutellum implicatum. He does all this.
Rutellum what?
Rutellum implicatum.
Ah.
Rutellum implicatum.
Ooh.
Know what I mean?
Gangster.
Yeah. That motherfucker did it.
Tell that. Run tell that.
Rutellum implicatum. That sounds like a snitch.
Yeah.
You run tell the cops and you implicate somebody?
Yeah.
I don't like it. Rutellum implicatum. He does all this with only a tooth.
Yes.
He's got a tooth. That's all he's got as far as fossil. All he knows is that it doesn't belong to anything that we know of in the world. So that's that. And by doing that, he names the first prehistoric creature that is eventually recognizable as a dinosaur. Again, the word dinosaur does not exist yet in 1699.
Right. Not until much later with the song "Everybody Do the Dinosaur."
Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody do the dinosaur. It's everybody rock the dinosaur.
Is that T-Rex? Is that the...
Maybe. Possibly. So, moving into the 18th century, 1770. We're getting into real shit now. Before, we were in some fuzzy stuff.
This is a real shit experience.
So, in 1770, the fossilized bones of a huge animal were found in a quarry near Maastricht in the Netherlands. I'm going to jump out of the timeline just for a second so you don't have to remember this one. And tell you that in 1808, Georges Cuvier, which is a name you should remember if you don't already know it.
That's the guy that Alanis Morissette sang the song about.
That's Dave Coulier.
Okay.
That guy was Canadian. This guy's French.
Same.
If you don't already know the name Georges Cuvier, you should remember it, as he is considered by many to be the founding father of paleontology. Also, I love my notes because I wrote that, and then afterward, I wrote a one-word sentence, French.
The song is Walk the Dinosaur by the band.
Walk the Dinosaur, not
band
Rock the Dinosaur.
Was apostrophe, not was, and apostrophe.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Or not, I'm sorry, not apostrophe, fucking parentheses. Parentheses. What was parentheses, not was, close parentheses.
Interesting.
I think it just goes by was, not was.
Was, not was.
Should I play it?
No.
Okay. Look it up.
No.
Not you. I was talking to the people at home.
So anyway, the fossilized bones of this huge animal are found in a quarry in the Netherlands. That was in 1770. In 1808, like I said, I'm jumping out of the timeline, Georges Cuvier identifies it as an extinct marine reptile. And in 1822, William Conybeare, another British fancy man, names it Mosasaurus.
Ah.
Mosasaurus is big scary fuck ass that lives in the water and looks like it would rip your limbs off just by looking at you.
Tight.
Yeah, I saw a picture of like a fully intact Mosasaurus skeleton, and I was like, that's terrifying. And no, thank you. Get it out of the water.
No, thank you.
Get it out of the water that I'm in. The Mosasaurus lived from about 82 to 66 million years ago during the Campanian and Maastrichtian stages of the late Cretaceous. I'm not going to do this for many of them. What's actually really cool about this is that Cuvier was an infant when this thing was discovered in the quarry.
Damn thing looks scarier than fuck.
Yeah. Cuvier was born in 1769. That skeleton, and it was a really good specimen. He got like a decent amount. So the year, like literally right after he was born, this is discovered. And like 30 years later, he is the one that kind of like identifies it as this extinct marine reptile.
Pretty cool.
It is cool. 1789 is when things start to evolve a bit in paleontology. Prior to this point, we've covered a lot of marine fossils and, I don't know, shells on mountains and shit, right? But starting in the late 1700s, all kinds of new stuff starts being excavated. In 1789, the skeleton of a large animal is unearthed in Argentina. In 1796, Georges Cuvier reports that it had an affinity to modern tree sloths and names it Megatherium. And this thing is crazy looking as dicks. It's like an elephant-sized bear sloth anteater, but it was in the sloth family. It's herbivorous, and it gets compared a lot to rhinos because it has a prehensile upper lip. It's called Megatherium.
Yeah, I've seen one of these.
Yeah.
Not like alive. I bring up all the time I lived in New York, but my favorite place to go in New York when I had some downtime was the Natural History Museum. Much like Holden Caulfield.
I really wanted to do the thing I do to Brian Velez all the time when he brings up living in Portland. I'm like, holy shit, dude, you lived in Portland? Damn,
this is just,
I didn't know that.
I'm only bringing it up because it's just contextual. But I distinctly remember going to the Natural History Museum for the first time. And it's fucking cool as fuck.
It was a cool motherfucking museum.
Yeah, it's a dope ass museum. And so it is in Catcher in the Rye. Holden Caulfield talks about how it's like his favorite place to go in the world. So I felt like particularly hipster, like being like, that's my favorite place.
Gay.
That's my favorite place in the world. But it is like my favorite place in the world.
It's a cool museum.
It's cool as fuck. I proposed to my wife there actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's throw it under the blue whale.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm fucking awesome. But the first time I went there by myself.
What if she had looked at you and been like, looked at you and looked up and looked at you and looked up and been like, you fucking calling me fat?
She's a marine biology major. So that was the whole thing. But anyway, I digress. But I remember the first time I went there, I was supposed to be like, I was doing like a team building thing with these guys I was working with, and they went to go see the movie American Gangster with Denzel Washington, which is a great movie, but I had already...
have seen it.
Yeah, good flick.
Have seen it.
I had already bootlegged a copy of that on the subway. So I'd already seen the movie and I was broke, and I was like, I really don't want to spend $10 to go see this fucking movie. And they were like, okay, then go do whatever the fuck you want, asshole. And they all went to go see the movie. And I was like, well, I'm going to hop on out of the Natural History Museum because it cost me nothing to get in.
Nice.
And I remember that day as like one of the coolest days of my life, kind of, because I saw all this cool shit.
Megatherium.
And then I went to the top floor, and I was like almost 20 years old. I'd never seen a dinosaur skeleton before.
Really?
Yeah, I'd never, like, none of the museums I ever went. I'd been to like air and space museums and history museums, but nothing like never like a natural history museum.
There's literally one up the street in Jacksonville that has a big ass, couple of big ass dinosaurs.
Yeah, but I walked, fucking walked upstairs and just turned the corner, and it's like the most incredible display of dinosaur bones.
Yeah, they've got a stupid amount.
It's psychotic. It's an entire upper floor of this giant building in Manhattan, and like I remember seeing.
And there
like,
you saw Megatherium.
Megatherium. I was like,
did you think to yourself, this thing is crazy looking as dicks?
I was like, this thing is crazy looking as dicks. Dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I was like looking at like the triceratopses and shit. Like, the fuck? Holy shit, goddamn. And I remember that moment very distinctly because I was like looking at everything, and I'm standing there by myself like a psychopath, just like, holy shit.
It's a little bit, I get it. You kind of understand the size and scale of them watching Jurassic Park or whatever.
Like seeing it in person,
but like being,
so bizarre.
Being on the floor of a museum, looking up at this fucking thing, and imagine, and there's always like, the plaque with like the artistically rendered version of what they would have looked like. not made entirely of bones.
But just like looking at the bones.
And you're just like, dude,
I remember that.
That's nuts.
I was looking around and I was talking to myself and going like, holy shit, look at all these fucking dinosaurs. Goddamn dinosaurs everywhere. And then I see a little kid, probably like 6 or 7 years old. He's doing the same fucking thing I'm doing. And he's looking around just like, oh, yeah. Whoa. And we saw each other. I looked at him and he looked at me and I was like, dude, do you see all these dinosaurs? And the kid went, I know.
And he was like, that was crazy. Look at his dicks.
Then we high-fived.
Hell yeah.
And some lady was like, don't touch my son. It was an incident. It was a whole problem.
Don't teach him words like dicks. So fast forwarding a few years, about, 7 years to 1796, Cuvier, Georges Cuvier again, father of modern paleontology.
Yeah, it's also on Full House.
Presents a paper on living and fossil elephants that shows that mammoths were a different species from any living elephant, and he argues that this proved the reality of extinction, which he attributes to a geological catastrophe.
Uh-huh.
Prior to this, the theory that a species could just disappear was not accepted in the scientific community.
Right.
There were a lot of holdouts who thought that these fossils were either fake or that they just hadn't found the animals yet. Like I said, they exist. We just don't know where yet. Or that they had just gotten smaller in size over time was a very common thing, right?
Yeah, that's illustrated very strongly in 1993 by Dr. Alan Grant.
So this is actually one of the most important moments in the history of biology, this paper.
Yep.
Before Cuvier came along with this, most scientists resisted extinction because of the philosophical and religious questions that it raised, right? Think about, you are an educated man in 1700s England, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you've learned your whole entire life has been dictated sort of either by the writings of Greek philosophers like Aristotle or the Bible.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have to accept extinction as a possibility. If this species can disappear, where did it go and what can happen to me? Right? It's a difficult pill to swallow to be like, oh, shit can just go away?
Yeah.
Where? How? Why? Am I next?
I can see that. Some issues with that.
And Cuvier's paper really showed that, like, this wasn't speculation, right? It didn't put the issue to rest, but it did show scientifically, like, this is visible in fossil record. This is not just on a whim. It's not just on a fucking lark that we're going, oh yeah, it disappeared.
The fascinating idea that, you gather enough of this kind of evidence and it just gives you a conclusion and you just have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evidence suggests that entire species at some point or another just disappeared.
Yeah. And this is the strongest science. Like the idea of extinction has existed for a while, all the way back to when we started this timeline, right? This is the first, not the first, but the strongest evidence that it's real. And it's the strongest evidence to make it scientifically acceptable. Right. So, by the way, just a quick mention about Georges Cuvier. He was like famous for his ability to reconstruct animals from just fragments of bones.
Yeah, I've seen on that show, he gets like the stuffed beaver on Full House.
Shut the fuck up.
You guys have seen that part, right? Where he does it's my beaver voice.
His supporters claim that he could identify an animal from a single tooth.
Ooh.
Which I think is probably not entirely true, but
no, actually, I've been out fossiling before, and it is not uncommon at all for like fossil guys to be like, oh yeah, that's a prehistoric dolphin tooth, or this is from a horse, or I had a prehistoric canine tooth fossil for a long time. From a wild dog.
You know what sucks is that in light of all this evidence that Cuvier wrote fucking 200 and something years ago, there are still people who think that fossils are fake, and they are
stupid assholes.
Fuck. Trying to think of a nice thing to say about
stupid assholes. Everyone that disagrees with me is a stupid asshole. But in this particular
that is
case,
true. Riley says that about anybody who disagrees with him with anything. And I'm the hating ass bitch in this room. Somehow.
You're hating on me right now for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not hating on him for being a stupid asshole. I'm just labeling him one.
I have an IQ of 38, dude.
I don't know what that means.
It's low.
I never did the IQ. Never looked at it.
It's a bad
I
IQ.
assumed my IQ was real high. I don't know. I don't need to test it.
Well, it's too late now.
I don't know math.
It's too late. Your intelligence quotient rises as you get older and learn more facts.
Oh, whatever.
It's important to get an IQ of like a child.
Sounds
when
dumb.
they're young. It doesn't really
I was
matter.
smart as fuck when I was a kid. I'm stupid now.
Moving forward to 1800, George Cuvier writes that a drawing of a fossil found in Bavaria shows a flying reptile, which he names pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl?
Yeah, we all know what that guy is.
Yeah. Terry.
From Pee-wee.
Pee-wee, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which brings us into the 19th century. Cuvier's still at it, babe.
You're just skipping 1800s to 1900s?
We were just at 1800.
Nice.
Now we're in 1804.
Nice.
19th century.
Oh, okay.
Low IQ son of a bitch.
I'm stupid. I don't know math. Math and numbers is no good for me.
In 1804, Cuvier writes about fossils of extinct mammals from the Paris Basin, arguing that they are similar to other mammals, such as ruminants, but also differ by dental and postcranial morphologies. He named the two genera Paleotherium and Anoplotherium. Doesn't make any sense. I got you. These are Eocene period mammals. Remember I told you the other day that we were going to talk about the Eocene period? These are Eocene period mammals, distant relatives of modern day horses, basically, probably. They lived around the same time period, not exact, but overlapping in the Eocene period, right? They probably had the same ancestry, but they had different evolutionary lineages and thusly developed different morphologies. Think about chipmunks on either side of the Grand Canyon. Probably started off very similar. At some point were isolated
I see.
and followed different evolutionary paths and thusly different morphologies. Different things evolved differently.
One of them gets like a leather jacket. The other one gets a Hawaiian shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of them moves in with Dave and the other one starts a very successful gas station chain out of Texas.
Yeah.
This is all like super mind-blowing stuff at the time.
I wanted to say, I'm going to start a Midwest emo band and I'm going to call it Modern Day Horses.
Okay. You have my blessing? I don't know why.
Because you said Modern Day Horses and it stuck in my head. I was like, that's a good one.
Modern day horses? Okay, cool. But yeah, this concept that these two similar species existing in a similar time in a similar area that had probably an ancestor in common evolved down different lineages is like, people are like, what the fuck are you, what?
Blasphemy.
Probably.
Blasphemy,
I'm sure. So a few years later in 1808, Cuvier and Alexandre Brognard,
Is that like a sandwich?
another fancy man. He's a French chemist, mineralogist, geologist, paleontologist, and zoologist. So many ologists. He's got ologies for days. He's got degrees in ologies. So Cuvier,
Ologies.
Cuvier and Brongniart.
Is that like a Swedish cheese?
Yeah, sounds like one. Don't get fire near it. Published preliminary results of their survey of the geology of the Paris Basin that uses fossils found in different strata to reconstruct the geologic history of the region. So they basically do a stratigraphy of the Paris Basin along with fossils from different geological periods, which is cool shit. In 1811, Mary Anning and her brother Joseph discover the fossilized remains of an ichthyosaur at Lyme Regis, England. Ichthyosaur is an old ass dolphin.
Yeah.
It's a reptile, but it looks like an old ass dolphin. It looks like an old ass scaly dolphin.
Yeah.
Big old thing with a big old bottle nose. Yeah.
Big ass dolphin, big ass old ass dolphin.
Yeah.
Is one of them fish dinosaurs.
Mary Anning is pretty pertinent to paleontology moving forward, particularly in England. In 1812, there's a war.
Oh, yeah.
But also, Cuvier draws skeletal reconstructions of Paleotherium minor, Plagiolophus minor, Anoplotherium medium, Zyphodon. He does a bunch of... Anyway.
These all sound like cryptocurrencies.
These are all equinoid mammals that he's been classifying, and he publishes all of this in 1812 in his Summary of Fossil Remains from Paris.
Equinoid being the predecessors of modern-day horses.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
He also drew speculative reconstructions of the muscles of A. commune, which is one of the ones I just named, to showcase its robustness. So he drew a complete sketch of what it looks like with its musculature and all that stuff. He does not publish them out of concerns of negative perceptions or speculations.
Damn.
He basically says, I'm going to catch hell for this one.
Yeah. Kind of literally, because everyone's going to call him a heretic. Fucking burn him.
In 1815, William Smith, who is just a geologist, I'm not going to call him a fancy man, but he is English, he publishes The Map That Changed the World. Well, I guess now he's a geologist and an author, but this is the first geologic map of England, Wales, and southern Scotland using fossils to correlate rock strata.
Damn.
It's really cool. I looked at some pictures of it. It's neat.
Tight.
1821, William Buckland, another fancy man with too many titles and whose name you should remember also, analyzes Kirkdale Cave in Yorkshire containing the bones of lions, elephants, and rhinoceros, and concludes that this is a prehistoric hyena den.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
Yeah.
In Yorkshire, England.
In Yorkshire, England.
So he found Hawaiian. He found hyenas.
Yeah.
All right, and lions as well.
He found lions, elephants, and rhinoceros.
That's dope as hell.
Pangea, baby.
Yeah, I love that.
In 1821 and 22, Mary Anning, who we just talked about, discovers the world's first plesiosaur skeleton at Lyme Regis, which is in England. And these are the big bastards with the long snout and the four big flippers and the long tail. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're fucking terrifying because they're the size of a bus.
Yeah, they look like that Pokemon.
Yeah, well, they're like I said, they're the size of a bus. They're super fucking fast because they have four big ass flippers. They're apex predators, and they're spread out throughout the world's oceans. And apparently, there were some that lived in brackish water too.
Yeah, the Brachiosaurus.
No, plesiosaurs.
Brachiosaurus.
Fuck you. 1822, Mary Ann Mantell and Gideon Mantell, remember the Mantells, they discover fossil teeth of the dinosaur Iguanodon. This one is a little bit complicated because Iguanodon was one of the first dinosaur fossils found and named, scientifically named.
Lapras. That was the Pokemon I was talking about that looks like that shit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that one looks like a friendly one.
But like with a shell.
Yeah. So they find fossil teeth of Iguanodon, and this is one of the first dinosaur fossils found and named, and the classification kind of had to revolve around this because this is all happening in real time, right? So Iguanodon is actually a genus under the family Iguanodontidae. Mm-hmm. And for like the longest time, this was kind of the trash heap for new fossils. Because like I said, they find it, they name it, it's accepted by the scientific community. And then for the longest time, they were like, well, these bones look kind of like those bones. So just put it in the same family as Iguanodon. It's the same thing. And then it took a long time to sort all that shit out. So in 1822, the editor of the French journal Journal de Physique, Henri-Marie Ducratet de Blainville, invents the word paleontology for the reconstruction of ancient animals. And sorry, he invents the word paleontology.
I know, it's fucking the hive mind right there.
After that name, yeah, Henri-Marie Ducratet de Blainville, paleontology. Yeah, he invents the word, meaning the construction of ancient animals and plants from fossils. So that's 1822.
Les dinosaures bon.
1822 is when we get the word paleontology.
Dino Sorbon.
1823, William Buckland finds a human skeleton with a mammoth remain at Paviland Cave on the Gower Peninsula. And he uses this as sort of evidence that these two existed simultaneously. Scientific community's like, nah, you're fucking full of shit, dude.
What? The Gower Peninsula, is this in England still?
Southwest of Wales. It's in Wales.
Yes. Renowned for its dramatic limestone cliffs.
Ooh, dramatic. Dramatic or traumatic?
Dramatic.
Oh, okay. 1824, William Buckland, we're still talking about. He's got a bunch of bones that he thinks are all part of the same extinct lizard. We still don't call them dinosaurs for a little while longer.
All those crazy lizard bones.
He's got a large piece of a lower jaw with teeth in place, several vertebrae, some fragments of pelvis and shoulder bone, and bones from both upper and lower hind limbs. These are not all from the same dinosaur. They're different sizes and everything, but he determines that they come from one species, specifically of the carnivorous dinosaur Megalosaurus. By the way, one of these bones that he has was Robert Plott's giant human.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
So hold on a second. So he's got this bone already, and then he finds some addendum ass bones that he can
He's got a bunch of bones, and somehow he ends up with Plott's bone. Plott's bone. And he figures out this is the same animal. This is Megalosaurus.
Cool.
Yeah. I told you we'd have more on Plott's bone later. In 1829, William Buckland publishes a paper on work that he and Mary Anning had done identifying and analyzing fossilized feces found at Lyme Regis and elsewhere. And Buckland coins the term coprolite.
Oh, shit, fossils.
And he uses those to analyze ancient food chains.
That's cool.
I knew you'd like that one because you love the word coprolite so much.
I do. I think it's great.
In 1830,
I tried to talk my wife into getting a coprolite diamond ring, and she wouldn't have it. She's smarter than me. So she was like, I know what that is. And I was like, done. Nuts.
Dung.
Dung.
In 1832, a couple years before Georges Cuvier dies, is the Cuvier-Joffre debate in Paris. Two French fucks debating on the determination of animal structure, right? Cuvier asserted that animal structure was determined by an organism's functional needs, while Joffre suggested an alternative theory that all animal structures were modified forms of one unified plan.
Damn.
Most people think that Cuvier walked away the winner from that debate. The reality is that they were essentially both right, because Joffre's argument that all animal structures were modified forms of one unified plan is kind of the basis for evolution.
Yeah, that's true.
And his arguments went in that direction, right? Cuvier's argument that an animal structure was determined by an organism's functional needs
also true
is a big driver of evolution.
So these two guys are just both fucking jerking each other off.
They're both going, no. And yeah, they were both
Dormez-vous.
And he punches him in the mouth. Dormez-vous, and punches him in the face. That means
Silence les glous.
You sleep. Mantell, in 1831, Mantell is the one that finds, he and his wife find the iguanodon teeth.
Iguanodon, great name for an exotic lizard salesman.
Hey, I'm Iguanodon. In New Jersey.
Yeah.
Mantell publishes the influential paper entitled The Age of Reptiles, summarizing evidence of an extended period during which large reptiles had been the dominant animals. Again, mind-blowing shit.
Yeah.
There was a time when big-ass lizards used to roam the earth and people weren't around.
What?
Fuck you. Fuck you. You're going to hell.
Fuck you. You're going to fucking hell. Dinosaurs, my ass.
The next year, dinosaur isn't even a word yet.
Right.
We don't even have the word yet. In 1832, the next year, Mantell finds a partial skeleton of the dinosaur Hylaeosaurus. These are the big armored son bitches.
Yeah.
Right? All the big armored son bitches are in this category or branched off of this category. Hylaeosaurus rounds out our OG3. Megalosaurus, Iguanodon, and now Hylaeosaurus. These are like the first three scientifically named and recognized dinosaur categories. Let's call it, right? And everybody's like, we should probably make up a word for these big fuck lizards soon. Can't keep calling them big fuck lizards. In 1836, Edward Hitchcock describes footprints of giant birds from Jurassic formations in Connecticut.
They travel in herds.
And later, they would be recognized as dinosaur tracks. This is when we start getting into...
They do move in herds.
The U.S. Who?
Bird dinosaurs.
They do?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
I think they're called flocks.
They do move in herds.
They do move in nerds.
They move in herds.
They do move in nerds.
They move in nerds?
They do move in nerds.
How sleepy are you?
They do move in nerds.
They move in herds.
Okay.
Sam Neill, Jurassic Park.
I know. God damn it. Sam Neill.
Whoa. Easy, Chief.
I hold nothing sacred.
This whole
and I
fucking
won't
episode
apologize.
is dedicated to Sam Neill, okay?
1841, anatomist Richard Owen creates a new order
An anatomist named Dick is funny.
Richard Owen creates a new order of reptiles, Dinosauria, for the animals Iguanodon, Megalosaurus, and Hylaeosaurus, which are found by Mantell and Buckland. 1841, that's when we get the word.
Nice.
1841, the same year that William Henry Harrison only lasts for 1 month as president. Frederick Douglass is speaking before Massachusetts Anti-Slavery Society. The Supreme Court is arguing the Armistead case.
Amistad?
Amistad, not Armistead.
Which is another Steven Spielberg movie.
The slave ship.
Amistad, AMI.
Yeah, I know. I put it. I know that. I said it, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Put an R in there when I was typing. Also, the same year that Dallas, Texas is being founded. That's when we get the name for dinosaurs. 1841.
Nice.
Also in 1841, the first global geologic timescale is defined by John Phillips based on the type of fossils found in different rock layers. He coins the term Mesozoic for what Mantell had called the age of the reptiles.
That's cool.
So that is now known as the Mesozoic period. 1856, fossils are found in the Neander Valley in Germany that Johann Karl Fulroth and Hermann Schaufhausen recognized as a human different from modern people. A few years later, William King names it Homo neanderthalensis.
So it was found in the Neander Valley?
It was.
That's funny.
Hence the name.
That's cool. I like that.
In Germany, yeah. 1858, the first dinosaur skeleton found in the United States, Hadrosaurus, is excavated and described by Joseph Leidy. These are the Beaky Boys, Hadrosaurus.
Where are they found?
In somewhere in the U.S., I think in Wyoming, if I remember right, somewhere like that.
I did that in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, these are the Beaky guys. Think Ducky from The Land Before Time.
Yes.
Fuck. Why was I doing that the whole time?
What?
The Land Before Time dinosaurs.
Yeah. Historically
damn it.
inaccurate. The evidence
So
wasn't
what?
in at the time.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the brachiosaurs dragging their tails. No, that's not how it works.
The next year, 1859, Charles Darwin publishes On the Origin of Species.
Damn.
Yeah, all this shit's been going on. 1861, the first Archaeopteryx.
Archaeopteryx.
Sure. Skeleton is found in Bavaria, Germany, and recognized as the transitional form between reptiles and birds.
Yeah.
This is late Jurassic, early Cretaceous.
Yes, it's the early work done for Alan Grant's eventual dissertation on the evolution of dinosaurs into birds.
This is when certain species of dinosaurs start getting some birdish features. 1871, 10 years later, Othniel Charles Marsh. Othniel is his name.
Othniel.
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 Othniel Charles Marsh discovers the first American pterosaur fossils. These are flyboys too. They are the earliest vertebrates known to have evolved the power of flight.
Very cool.
Also, general consensus is that they may have been warm-blooded.
Ooh.
Yeah. Also, same guy, a couple years later, 74 to 77, he finds a series of equid fossils in the American West that shed light on the evolution of the horse.
Oh, hell
The
yeah.
North American horse, yeah. In 1877, the first Diplodocus skeleton is found near Cannon City, Colorado, similar to Brontosaurus. Is it Diplodocus?
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus. Eat my ass.
Diplodocus.
1891, Eugene Dubois discovers fossils of Java man in Indonesia. Oldest known Homo erectus.
Homo erectus. You say homo?
I put Riley will laugh
Yeah.
in my notes after I put Homo erectus. Quote, parentheses, Riley will laugh.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm going to start writing.
Nailed it.
I'm going to start writing. Well, it's too easy. That moves us into the 20th century. 1901, petroleum geologist W.W. Orcutt. Now we're getting into people using their fucking initials like assholes. Yeah, W.W. Orcutt.
William Wilhelm.
William Warren.
Ooh. William Warren Orcutt.
He recovers the first fossils. He was I already said that. He's a petroleum geologist. He recovers the first fossils from the La Brea tar pits in Southern California. And as we know, a whole bunch of Ice Age mammals up in that shit.
Bunch of motherfuckers sunk in that shit.
A lot of mammoths specifically. 1905, Dipley, the Diplodocus, is exhibited in London's Natural History Museum. Its multiple casts and high profile make the word dinosaur a household name. So 1905, before we get the first dinosaur completed skeleton in a museum, and people are walking up to this bitch being like, the
Holy
fuck
shit.
is that? Dinosaur?
Holy fucking shit.
A fucking dinosaur? I gotta tell the boys about this. And then he goes back to his construction job. He's like, you guys heard about these fucking dinosaurs? Fucking
You
huge.
guys hear about this fucking thing?
Fucking huge. Big ass lizard. Think of like a lizard and a cow had a baby and it was like 2 fucking stories high.
Exactly how this conversation went for hundreds of years.
A cow and a lizard. Also in 1905, we've been collecting bits and pieces of this new dino from the American West, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What year was that?
1905.
1905. So it wasn't in 1865 when John Wilkes Booth shouted "Sic Semper Tyrannosaurus."
He could have still said that. The Latin language existed.
He
What
said,
did he say? He didn't say
He
that.
said "Sic Semper Tyrannus."
Tyrannus, you dick.
Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus.
because thus always to tyrants.
Yes,
And then it's the Tyrannosaurus
Yeah.
is the tyrant.
Tyrant lizard, yeah.
That was a fucking funny joke.
Yeah, I know. I didn't
If
get
you're 100.
Yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex, world's most famous dinosaur species. And that is first described by Henry Fairfield Osborn in 1905. In 1909,
I believe that
Cambrian.
description is big fuck lizard, big fuck teeth, nashy.
Okay, think about this.
You got
All right?
tiny little arms though.
You know when your dog stands up on his back feet and he's like looking at you, he's holding his arms up funny and shit. All right, think about that. Big long fuck tail. Big ass fucking head. Teeth like swords, and there's like hundreds of them. Fucking 100 teeth in there, right? That big fucker. And he's like 2 stories tall. 1909, Cambrian fossils in the Burgess Shale in British Columbia are discovered by Charles Walcott. Cambrian period is 541 million years ago. Early. Everything before that is Precambrian, which is the beginning of Earth until
Nobody knows what the fuck's going on there.
Exactly.
In Tremors 2, it's theorized that actually the graboids from Tremors
Are
are
Precambrian?
Precambrian life forms.
In 1912, continental drift is proposed by Alfred Wegener, leading to plate tectonics, which explain many patterns of ancient biogeography revealed by the fossil records. So, in other words, why are we finding some of these over here and then across the fucking the ocean?
Because the shit moved.
Because the shit moved. Tectonic plates. We got them. They're moving.
We got them.
Also, 1912, Charles Dawson announces the discovery of Piltdown Man in England.
I don't know if I know Piltdown Man.
You probably don't, because it turned out it was a fucking hoax.
Bummer. I know Toland Man.
Yeah, basically, almost immediately they started questioning this. It was bullshit. They were revealed as forgeries pretty quickly. Well, they were officially revealed as forgeries like 40 years later, but everybody kind of was like, nah, dude, what are you talking about? 1912 to 1915, Spinosaurus is found in North Africa and is speculated to be the largest terrestrial predator that ever lived.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, it looks like a T-Rex, but with a longer snout and and a big spiny fan on his back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Spinosaurus. 1920, Andrew Douglas proposes dendrochronology, tree ring dating, which allows us to know how old trees are.
Which is cool.
Especially with petrified trees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In 1924, Raymond Dart examines fossils of Tong child.
Dong Child?
Tong, Taung, found... You asked if it was Dong child with such sincere wonderment and curiosity. Dong child? Founded in South Africa, it eventually becomes named by Raymond Dart Australopithecus africanus, old hominid.
Yeah, it's the first evidence that human evolution started in Africa.
Yeah. 1944, the publication of Tempo and Mode in Evolution by George Gaylord Simpson
Gaylord
integrates paleontology into the modern evolutionary synthesis. So now you're starting to see where all these things start to link together. We're looking at evolutionary evidence in old equids and old dinosaurs, and now the concept of extinction is generally accepted by everyone, and most people, the origin of species is out, all these things. This is the first guy to publish something saying, hey, us too, by the way. You've seen Java Man, you've seen Australopithecus africanus. That's where we came from.
Yeah,
we're going to keep doing that.
We too evolvo.
1946, Reginald Sprigg discovers fossils of the Ediacaran biota in Australia. In the 1960s, Martin Glassner would show that they were Precambrian. You know those crazy pink and purple veiny, like ferny, like fanny kind of plants? They look like ferns. They like unfurl, and they're like fanny, and they're always pink and purple and shit.
Probably not.
Not plants. They are. We don't really know. It's subject to much debate.
Cool.
They are organisms with some things that are similar to algae and some things that are similar to. They still have shit that's very similar under the ocean.
What are they called?
Ediacaran biota. Ediacaran biota.
Goo.
You recognize it though, right? As something that should be on the ocean floor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, this one's cool. 1947, Willard Libby introduces carbon-14 dating.
Tight.
Yeah.
Though 14 is a little young to date.
Have you ever looked into like the science of how carbon-14 dating works?
No.
Pretty cool. So basically the concept is that radiocarbon, carbon-14, is constantly being created in the Earth's atmosphere by the interaction of cosmic rays and nitrogen in the atmosphere, right?
Cool.
The resulting carbon-14 combines with oxygen to form radioactive carbon dioxide, which is incorporated into plants through photosynthesis. Then animals get carbon-14 in their bodies by eating the plants, and then when some other animal eats that animal, then the carbon-14 is in their body, et cetera, right? When the animal or plant dies, it stops absorbing carbon-14, right?
Right.
Or it stops exchanging that carbon with its environment. It just gets trapped, right? So after that, carbon-14 starts to undergo radioactive decay. And the half-life on carbon-14 is about 5,730 years. So you can fairly accurately, as long as something is not over 5,730 years old, or actually, no, that's not the threshold because it's half-life. So 5,730 years old would be half the amount of carbon-14. So you can accurately date more or less up to approximately 50,000 years.
Nice. That's fucking cool.
It is cool. The science behind that is neat. 1953, Stanley A. Tyler discovers microfossils in the Gunflint chert. Gunflint chert. He finds cyanobacteria that created Precambrian stromatolites approximately 2 billion years ago.
Tight.
Stromatolites?
I'm your stromatolite.
I'm a stromatolite.
That one was for you, Jane.
You're my stromatolite.
Mm-hmm.
That's the word. That's the way. So it's as big as a fucking 2-story building. Niles in 1972, Niles Elridge and Stephen Jay Gould propose punctuated equilibrium, claiming that the evolutionary history of most species involves long intervals of stasis between relatively short periods of rapid change. This is generally accepted now. Basically, we stay the same until some major external thing happens, and then we change very rapidly. 1914.
When do the dinosaurs eat people?
Well, you have to go to Ila Nublar for that.
Or Elasorna.
Nah.
Well, Elasorna's good.
Nah.
Lost World's a good fucking movie, man.
Nah.
You know? You got Hot Goldblum. You got that whole fucking sequence where the shit's hanging off the cliff.
Nah.
You know that shit's fucking cool. That's part of the sequence where they're all, so Julianne Moore and Goldblum and who's not Ray Liotta?
Ray Romano.
Ray Liotta. It's Ray Liotta, right?
Oh, the dinosaur's coming to eat me. I don't know.
That's not Ray Liotta. Fuck what I'm thinking. Vince Vaughn. So they're
Ray
inside.
Romano.
They're trying to save the baby. I mean, in the movies. So they're trying to save the baby Tyrannosaurus. This got his leg broken.
Don't worry about me. Save the baby.
By the morally bankrupt dinosaur hunter or whatever the fuck. And the in a misguided attempt to rescue the baby dinosaur, the T-Rex is fucking headbutting it off. It's raining and shit. And the whole fucking thing's hanging off the cliff. And then they're all hanging on a fucking... They're all gonna... There's that great shot from underneath. Julianne Moore falls, and you think she's just gonna fall to her death, but she hits a window that you didn't know was there. It's like, boom, and then she's on it. It starts to like crack. And then the guy from fucking West Wing, the hell's his name? The balding one.
Ray Romano.
No, he comes in with a wench and a pulley, and he throws it down, and they all like get on the rope, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go pull it up. Can I get you guys anything? And they're like, yeah, get us some cheeseburgers. Julianne Moore's like, no onions on mine. That's a good bit. And then that guy gets eaten by a Tyrannosaurus.
In 1974, Donald Johnson from the show Miami Vice and Don Johnson and Tom Gray discovered a 3.5 million year old female hominid fossil that is 40% complete and name it Lucy.
Fuck, I was gonna call
Were you going to say that?
Yeah.
1974. That's not like...
No, it was right there. Jane Goodall was fucking right down the street with chimpanzees, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah.
1980, Luis Alvarez, Walter Alvarez, Frank Asaro, and Helen Michelle proposed the Alvarez hypothesis. I feel like 2 of the 4 of them voted against that name. That a comet or asteroid struck the Earth 66 million years ago, causing the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event, including the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs and enriching the iridium in the KT boundary.
Mm-hmm.
KT extinction event is what most people know that as now. Did not know that excluded the avian dinosaurs.
Well, yeah, because they became birds, as noted by paleontologist Alan Grant, 1993, in his seminal work, Don't Go to Jurassic Park.
1982, they skipped me being born. Jack Sapkowski and Jack Mykoski and David M. Ropp published a statistical analysis of the fossil record of marine invertebrates that shows a pattern, possibly cyclical, of repeated mass extinctions.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the good one. That's
we're
all doomed.
We're getting places. 1984, Hu Zhangguang discovers the Maoshinshan shales, Cambrian fossil site in the Yunnan Peninsula province of China. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, say that 10 times
what a
fast.
mouthful.
I didn't understand a fucking word you just said, pal.
Hao Shangguang discovers the Maoshinshan shales, Cambrian fossil site in the Yunnan Peninsula of China.
You got to stop drinking beer on the podcast.
I do not, and I refuse until motherfuckers pay me. I'll go sober. Once that check's coming in, dog. 1993, Johannes G.M. Thiwisen. Why can't they have easier names? And Syed Taseer Hussain. I got that one.
Co-funded a site in the Utah Badlands that was led by paleontologists Alan Grant and Ellie
I'm
Sadler.
going to throw something at you. They discover fossils of the amphibious whale ancestor Ambulocetus in Pakistan. Amphibious whale ancestor.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that guy.
Yeah. The whale evolution's fascinating because it like
Born on land,
we talked
takes
about it
to the sea.
We talked about it in the whaling episode. Like
We did.
dolphins and whales
Yeah,
have
we
like
did.
sort of a back and forth evolutionary path of like going into the ocean, coming out of the ocean, into the ocean, out of the ocean.
Yeah. Only a few more left, guy. 1996, Li Yu Min discovers a fossil of the theropod dinosaur
I think 96 is Lost World. Yeah.
Sinosauropteryx.
Sinosauropteryx.
Whatever. Showing evidence of feathers. And she finds that. He finds that. I don't know. Li Yu Min might be a lady or a man.
Hell yeah.
It's 1996. Showing evidence of feathers on the guy.
Yeah.
On the dinosaur.
It's more accepted now.
That was in the Liaoning province of
It's
China.
essentially accepted science that dinosaurs just had feathers like birds.
Not the entire time.
The aviary dinosaurs,
Yes.
but Quetzalcoatlus and shit.
Yes. Particularly leaving the Jurassic and going into the Cretaceous period.
If anybody
Is when you
likes
start
heavy metal
seeing
and
that all.
dinosaurs, you should listen to the Protest the Hero song Quetzalcoatlus.
You can.
Fucking dope.
2004. Tiktaalik. Tiktaalik, a transitional form between lobe-finned fish and pteropods, is discovered in Canada. Tetrapods, not pteropods. What's a tetrapod?
I am the tetrapod.
That's crazy. A tetrapod. Okay, I'm going to tell you some things that are tetrapods.
Tetrapods are a subclass of vertebrates that includes all amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals.
Well, eat my ass.
Yeah, they're defined by having 4 limbs or evolving from ancestors that did. The name means 4 feet. This group also includes limbless animals like snakes and whales, as well as 2-legged ones like birds, because they all descend from 4-limbed ancestors that transition from water to land, which is fascinating. So iguanas.
Also zebras.
Also zebras. Also us.
Sure. So Tiktaalik is a transitional form between lobe-finned fish and tetrapods.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. 2009, fossils of Titanoboa, a giant snake, are unearthed in the coal mines of Cerrejón in La Guajira, Colombia, suggesting Paleocene equatorial temperatures were higher than today.
Titanoboa.
No.
Big snake.
Titanoboa.
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 I'm sorry that you have your fucking white ass, fucking cracker ass accent.
Big titan.
This
Snake,
was found
boa.
in La Guajira, Colombia. They called it Titanoboa.
Big snake. Titan boa.
Yeah. They weren't like, Ore, Juan, ¿cómo se llama eso? And the guy goes like, Titanoboa.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Juan did not say that. Last one, 2016, tail fossils of a baby species of Coelurosaur, fully preserved in amber, including soft tissue, are found in Myanmar by Lida Jing.
Hell yeah.
That's how Jurassic Park happens, buddy.
What?
Tail fossils of a baby species of Coelurosaur, fully preserved in amber, including soft tissue, are found in Myanmar.
The amber. Okay, yes. Okay, I see.
Including soft tissue.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Cool.
you're like, yeah,
They can get
awesome.
samples of fucking DNA.
Dino DNA?
Yeah, and then they can culture that and make some meat, and then we can eat it.
That is last week's Patreon topic where we
Yes.
talked about lab grown meat.
I mean, like, why not, right? Like, they've been doing the mammoth thing for a while. They got good samples of mammoth. Why not grow some mammoth meat? Let's have a burger. Call it the caveman burger.
Wonder, you know what I could have done on the ass end of this episode was look up whatever happened with, they sequenced all that DNA.
Dino DNA.
Mammoth DNA.
Mammoth DNA.
Do you saw the thing where they were like wanting to bring back the mammoth, right?
Yeah, it's been going on for 30 years at this point.
It has not been that long.
It's been a long
We
fucking
have
time.
not figured out
Been most of my
DNA
goddamn
sequencing
life.
until very recently. Yeah, it was scientifically impossible
That
until
is
the
not
last few years.
necessarily true. They were cloning sheep in the fucking early 90s.
Yeah, how long did Dolly last?
I don't know, but I'm not. You're saying that
It died after like
you're
15
saying that no
months.
one's had any interest in it for
No.
It's been going on for 30 years.
I
They've been
haven't
working
said no
on
one's
it.
had interest in it. I'm saying it was scientifically impossible to do it
I mean,
until
really,
recently.
if you really want to fucking get into that particular topic, the fucking Nazis in World War II were trying to bring back aurochs by breeding fucking cows and bulls. So like, it's not like a new phenomenon.
I'm not saying the idea is new. I'm saying that the ability to do it is new.
I mean, yeah, but they've been working on it. I didn't say that they've been doing it. I said they've been working on it for like 30 years.
Sometimes I feel like Patrick's from Mars and Riley's from Venus.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in. City of Angels.
I don't think the lyric was,
Lonely as I am.
my only friend is the city I live in. Is that what he's saying?
No. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend.
Period. Is the city I live in the city of angels?
No, that's not how that goes. That's how you interpreted that song?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You're saying sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in.
The city of angels. Because it's fucking LA. He's California
And then the next
boy.
and then the next sentence is just a
As lonely
sentence
as
fragment.
as lonely as I am. Together
City of
we
Angels.
cry.
The next line is a sentence fragment.
No, it's the city I live in, the City of Angels, L.A., Los Angeles.
I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like my only... I'm not going to fucking do this with you
Sometimes I
anymore,
feel like I
pal.
don't have a partner. Sometimes, period. Sometimes I feel like my only friend, period.
Period. Why period? Sometimes I feel like my only friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm my only friend.
Yes.
That doesn't work. That's classifying himself in two different characters in the same story.
It doesn't matter. It's Anthony Kiedis, dude.
Yeah, well, then what is any of this?
Is the city I live in the City of Angels? Question
There's
mark.
no question mark there.
Lonely
he lives
as I-
in a town called the City of Angels.
Is the city I live in?
It's like he doesn't know where
the
he
City
lives.
of Angels? Lonely? You don't remember him putting that intonation on it?
I don't ever want to feel like I did just now, okay?
Oh my God. How did we end up picking apart fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers lyrics?
I don't know.
It's late. Let's both call into work tomorrow.
It is late, though. Let's wrap it up.
All right. If you like this episode, the best way to tell us is to get on whatever you're listening to. Leave us 5 stars. If you are on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. And if you are on Spotify, leave us a comment on this episode or any other ones that you want to leave us one on. Also, check us out on Instagram and on YouTube. You'll find all the fun stuff there. And check us out at Delete Everything Podcast, or I'm sorry, at patreon.com/Delete Everything Podcast, where you'll get all the fun episodes. And they're there and they're waiting for you. And all you have to do is just come join us.
This episode has been dedicated to legendary character actor Sam Neill. May he rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Wow.